Losing is what got us here. None of us feel good about it. This is, where we are. You are what your record is. You are what has happened, recently. But things can change quickly. Once we losing is what got us here.
Tony, what's popping with you, brother, man? How you feeling?
We back, man.
Back.
It feels like it's been not too many of these lately.
Right? You know what I'm saying? It's been up and down and all over the place. Not to mention just regular lifing. But we back on the Losers Lounge, ladies and gentlemen. It feels good to be back with a nice win over the Orlando Magic. Some Mavs fans are not happy at all, but that's okay. They'll get over it. You know what I'm saying? They'll definitely get over it.
I mean, maybe, depending on how the rest of the year pans out.
Yeah, that's true. Depending on how the year pans out for them, you know what I'm saying. But let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Start right from the beginning. My man Daryl said he was so hyped for this game.
And I'm hyped to welcome you guys back to the Losers Lounge
for the first
time. Orlando Magic.
For the first time that the Knicks beat the Orlando Magic. This season. First time this season.
But I don't think we had one last year, did we? A Losers Lounge for the Magic? No, I think we did. So. I think we did. Yeah. I think it was a comeback win.
Okay.
It was a comeback win.
Okay.
But it wasn't like tonight.
No. Tonight we just smacked them. You know what I'm saying? We just smacked them. Then some fans, I don't have this one up, but this guy Carlin said, good job to the Knicks, though. They managed not to get swept this season. Like, that's dumb. Okay. That's dumb. You know what I mean? That happens to every team every season. But right now, they're just afraid of the playoffs with the Knicks. Some of them. They're afraid of the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They've seen this game, and I think they're like, oh, snap. Maybe we can't beat this team the way that we thought we could beat this team. Jay Hayes, 13, said we don't usually get outworked, but the Knicks came out on a mission, and we didn't match their energy at all.
From the jump.
The Knicks came out and jumped on them. They came out and jumped on them and took them out right from the beginning. Josh Hart, had our first 5 points of the game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he hit a little sidestep three, and then he penetrated to the basket. The Knicks played a lot in transition today. Just trying to get out in transition. That's something I was talking about on the game preview. Right, that the Knicks had to really push that ball up the floor and try to put pressure on Orlando that way and create space that way. You know what I mean? And they definitely did that tonight.
Josh Hart, he started off the game. He finished off the game with that monster putback dunk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot all about that monster putback dunk.
So now we just go back real quick. That's the play of the game right there.
There you go. Right. That's the play of the game because we didn't talk about a play of the game. But the Knicks, they put in work tonight. Orlando is a team that normally works hard and play hard, but they got outworked by the Knicks tonight. Knicks were just a better team. They were more determined, to prove to Orlando, to prove to themselves, to prove to everybody that they can beat Orlando and they get in the playoffs, might be trouble. It just might be trouble. I'll let you read this one, Tony.
Says P5 getting his ass worked tonight by Achiuwa. And I'm like, pause. Now imagine if OG was back.
Yeah.
because Precious was definitely putting in that work on
Right.
on Banchero,
Right.
making him work for everything.
And that would, now you got Achiuwa, playing crazy defense on you, and then boom, OG's playing crazy defense on you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's trouble. That's trouble for Banchero. That's definitely trouble for him when you got guys like that that can play defense.
5
At
blocks.
those guys, 5 blocks. Yeah, 5 blocks by Achiuwa tonight. You know what I mean? He was yeah, just listen, he offensively, he's not gonna be great, but he's gonna put the work in defensively. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna put that work in defensively. He's gonna hustle, he's gonna scrap, and he's gonna scrape. And the last time the Knicks played Orlando, I don't think Achiuwa was on the team, right?
Nope. Nope. They haven't seen us with Achiuwa, OG. Um, Obviously, this is the first time Bogey and Burks. So, nope.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. This is a different basketball team. I mean, the Knicks don't know fully who they are yet, but different basketball team.
So that's what they call him, P5.
P5.
If I'd known that, I would have paid more attention to some of the comments that didn't make it, because I didn't know who they was referring to originally. It took me a couple times.
Yeah. P5. I guess it's a cool name, I guess.
Kind of bland. It lacks some creativity.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? How many of those type of names we got in the league all over the place? All over the place.
And usually it's two initials. You know what I mean? So like that means they was really lacking any thought.
Right. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Eric says, as soon as I saw Brunson was playing, I had a bad feeling. They hold Brunson in high regard then.
And Brunson will do that to you.
Right? Yeah, they hold Brunson in high regard. That lets you know what people feel about Brunson across the league. Just think 2 years ago, nobody really thought about Brunson in that type of a way. Like, oh my God, Brunson is playing. Ah, man. Nobody felt about Brunson like that a couple of years ago.
And you know what? I can't blame him, because we got a game coming up, right? Not right now. I'm just saying in general. When you got a game coming up, you look at that team, you look at their last game. Oh, Brunson didn't play. You know what I mean? Maybe he won't play.
Right.
Maybe he won't play on Sunday, and then boom, it's like, oh man, he's playing.
Yeah.
Like I was hoping we had an easy one. We already beat him 3 times, so yeah.
Yeah. But Brunson is Brunson is making his name as a superstar in this league, man. Like people fear playing against Brunson. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the Knicks haven't had a guy like that in a while, so that's great. Tay said, to be honest, I just dislike Brunson's style, which makes me dislike the Knicks. But being down this bad, I can't be mad. No, you can't. Because Brunson's style just busted your ass. You can't be mad about nothing.
But I would think you would be extra mad.
Yeah,
like,
right.
That's why I was confused. Like, so you don't like Brunson, you don't like his style, you don't like the Knicks, but being bad is down. Being down is bad. You can't be mad. I think you should be super bad.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
74 points.
74 points. 98-74. Smacked them. I mean, and they only had, one star out there on the floor in Brunson. Two starters down. But as time goes on, the group is those guys that are starting, like they're building more chemistry and understanding how they have to play to be successful. And that's what happens when you play a certain number of games together. And so when you get in the playoffs, as long as Tom Thibodeau makes those adjustments, the Knicks got all kinds of lineups that they can throw out there on the floor that he should be comfortable putting on the floor, right? Because he's had to exercise his mind to, to figure out how to be competitive in games. You know what I'm saying? So the Knicks, when everybody gets back, they should be a lot better. Once the chemistry really starts to come together, they should be a lot better because now, they just like you got all kinds of lineups you can throw out there on the floor. Like you can match anything that any other team does, you can match it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a beautiful thing what's going on with the Knicks.
It is. I ain't gonna lie. We spoke about Brunson on the previous show. I mean Mitchell, but a little part of me want to see us run this whole thing back at full strength. You know what I mean, and see what we really got. Because
Yeah,
you know what I mean. We talk about 11, 11 or so games. I mean, potentially at full strength going into the playoffs. You know what I mean? That's still a small sample size. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, but adding Mitchell, I think if you can, if you only adding him for like Mitchell Robinson basically hasn't played all season, just as just putting his name out there because of the contract, and then Bogdanovich, like if you add them for those two guys, it's like you basically got the same team coming back.
You're right.
I mean,
but Mitchell Robinson was part of the.
he was
He's part of that thing that I want to see. I want to see him at OG. You know what I mean? Like I want to see
that.
him in.
Yeah,
so that's my only point.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to see him and OG out there too. See how it's gonna look. Anthony said, "We are giving the media exactly what they've been saying. We're not ready."
And that's the one I was referencing off camera, or off air. Yeah, that's the one thing that they are. I'm not gonna sit here and say they're not ready because like we said prior to this game, this is one of the teams that I just didn't like the matchup for. But the one true advantage that I knew we had was experience.
Yeah,
and that experience of even having a hump to get over. You know what I mean? Like they have it. They don't know what that means.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
they're a young team battling, trying to figure some things out.
with a bright future.
Yeah, with a bright future, no doubt about that. And looking at the fans' comments, I think they do understand they got a bright future too. You know what I mean? My man Saul said these two came right into the next show. Still wild. Wilding about what? What we wilding about? Donovan Mitchell? Like what? I don't know. I don't know what we wilding about, but still wilding about something. About something. Carlin said, if one more guard turns their ankle tonight, I'm gonna throw my TV.
They still make 12-inch TVs.
I mean, did they have a lot of guards turn their ankle? I didn't even pay attention to that.
I mean, I know at one point they was like, oh, Anthony's back in the game, which made me assume that at some point he got hurt, and you know what I mean. So he was back on the floor. They was like, oh, that's always nice to see, a guy, able to come back.
Yeah.
Somebody else turned their ankle.
Okay.
Late in the game. I didn't see the first half, so I don't know what happened in the first half. But I know in the second half they had some guys.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing serious. You know what I mean? They was all able to play.
Yeah. Saul said we got jokes tonight. We feel good tonight because the Knicks got that win tonight. over the Magic. We needed to beat the Magic.
That's right.
I mean, so yeah, we feel good about that.
Oh, and Phelps.
Okay.
Markel Phelps. He
Okay. And of course, the Magic try to downplay the Knicks getting a win. Right. Trillist said, good win, New York. Third game in 4 nights. Series is 3-1. See you in the playoffs.
You don't want to see us.
So of course, they're gonna start coming up with little things. This other guy here said the Knicks won their Super Bowl.
I said Super Bowl. Nah, but the losers lounge is back. We appreciate you.
So of course people gonna all the teams do that, especially when it comes to the Knicks, because Knicks fans celebrate. Knicks won their Super Bowl. Nah, we're just glad. We're injured. Got a lot of guys down. We came back and got a win.
And
Big win.
if you could go back to that previous one, because that's you know what I mean. To your point, they saying 3 games in 4 nights or something. Was it 3 games in 4 nights?
Yeah.
And I think that was 3 wins in 4 games, right? So
Yep.
so y'all wasn't complaining about 3 games in 4 nights when y'all won.
You know what I'm saying? And you surely wasn't complaining that there was no Randall and no OG.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure coming into the game, based off of y'all 3 wins, y'all was like, "Oh, we on a streak. We about to extend it."
We
So
about
let's, you know what I mean? Let's keep it 100.
Yep. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. Be real with it. Come on, Trillist. Some of their fans a little bit more real than others. Anthony said we're forever not being prepared for big games. I don't know who they played before us, but this was a big game that they needed to be prepared for, right? If they would have won, they would have went up a game and a half over the Knicks in the playoff race. Right? Instead, they dropped the ball. Knicks came out with that fire. They had none. The Knicks now half a game above the Magic in the playoff standings.
But again, this goes down to experience as well. Not playoff experience, but experience of knowing the importance of said game.
Right.
You know what I mean? For the most part, we've lost some games that we felt like were must wins, but we also won the majority of them. You know what I mean? When it comes down to even under circumstances not in our favor, we've won these games because we know the importance of them. I don't know if they were unprepared. I guess maybe it's the same thing, but I think it's more of just not understanding the importance.
Exactly. Sometimes the experience is the preparation. And if you don't have that experience, you got to lose big games to gain the experience, to know, all right, we can't lose. We need to win. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now what do we got to do to win?
Mm-hmm.
You know
It's like I said earlier, you got to have the hump to get over the hump.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's part of that, going through it.
Yeah. That's what it takes. That's what it takes to go through it. You know what I mean? You gotta learn how to be prepared. And it may not mean that the coaching staff ain't preparing you. Right? The coaching staff might put everything out there that you need, but maybe the players not really paying attention because they feel like, we just beat this team 3 times. We got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, went out with their lady last night. You know what I'm saying? Because they was in New York. All of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not being prepared here. The coaches don't control that. Only thing they can do is give you as many resources as possible, but you got to prepare yourself mentally. And the coaches can try to help you prepare mentally, but they still can't get inside your brain.
And how do you prepare to get punched in the face?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Knicks came out swinging right off the top. Right off top, Knicks came out swinging. My man, Arines said, better hope to see the Cavs in the playoffs instead of the Knicks.
Because that was that energy before the game. What? You know what I mean? They was hoping for the Knicks.
Oh, in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, Now they're looking like, oh, wait a minute. And this is the thing, like going back to the guy who said, 3 games and 4 nights, this, that, and the third. Like the Knicks was on a mad stretch when they played Orlando a couple of times where they had played all these back to backs or road games and had a wild schedule. And now we just played them again with all these players hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know, you know what I mean? I guarantee you, at least one of those games we were in a stretch of 3 games and 4 nights, or four games and 7 nights, or something crazy like that. 5
Two
games.
back to backs.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, back to backs. You know what I'm saying? Like we literally did them joints. But how would you see an Orlando and Cavs matchup? Because Orlando is tougher than the Cavs. They play with more energy. They play tougher than the Cavs do.
I think that's that's what I thought about when I read the statement, when I picked this comment, because I feel like they like, all right, well, the Knicks bullied the Cavs last year. You know what I mean? Like, we're a pretty physical team. This is the first time we've seen the full physicality of the Knicks. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we could use that blueprint against the Cavs. Like, just like you said, I think they are a more naturally physical team. I'm not gonna say a tougher team, even though you could argue that they're a tougher team too. But they're definitely a more natural physical team.
Yeah.
And that could be something that they could use to their advantage.
Right.
I would still bet on the Cavs,
Mm-hmm.
but I could see it being a tough series.
Yeah. I think that would, let me see, the only way that can happen, assuming that the Cavs stay in the 6th seed.
Orlando.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Or 3rd seed.
Stay in the 3rd seed. Orlando would have to drop down to the 6th seed.
Yeah.
Right? They have to drop down to the 6th seed. I guess they could. That would mean Miami moving up to the 5th seed. I don't know what's going on with Philly.
After they drop these 2 games, they go down to the just playing.
Yeah, I mean Philly's in the 7th seed now. They dropped
God.
these 2 games to the Knicks. I don't know where they go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where they go. But I think that would be a good matchup. I think that Orlando would have a chance to win that matchup against Cleveland. Do they have enough firepower? I don't know. But I think they'd have a chance to win that matchup.
I mean, their advantages against the Cavs, I would say, are the same advantages that I figured they have against us. Just that their length, you know what I mean? They're pretty 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", pretty much all across the board, other than the point guards.
Yeah. My man Joe Long said, "Damn, I'm subscribed here too. This is the same channel, bro. It's just a different show, a different format, but on the same channel. We just hearing what the losing team's fans have to say. That's all. Just figuring out what they got to say. But, ladies and gentlemen, and it's normally a short show, so don't get too comfortable in your seats yet. But yeah, the Knicks, had the Magic have nothing in their wands tonight. They take that L. Nothing in their wand tonight.
He couldn't pull a rabbit out the hat.
Pull a rabbit out the hat. Word up. You know what I mean? Very good win by the Knicks. I'm just hoping we can do the same thing against Philly the next 2 nights. Right? We have a Cowboys fan. who's a Knicks fan.
It's misery over the years.
That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. Appreciate it. That's super tough. You know what I mean? Whew. That's a misery. That's some rough stuff for you, boy. Dang.
It's all right. The Knicks is changing the vibes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's tough. That's tough for you right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Joe, that's a whole lot of misery. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole lot of misery. Mad years worth. Like, dang. That's tough. Every season, you don't get a break. You don't get a break. You don't get a break. Anyway, you know what I mean? So I hope to catch the next Losers Lounge too.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. We might end up having a live Losers Lounge.
Yeah. Might have a live Losers Lounge.
Yo,
Time.
we're gonna have to figure that joint out, sir.
I figure it out for the first time. We might have a live Losers Lounge. Yeah, we got to figure that out. So, all right. That should be pretty dope. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get up out of here because it is kind of late. I actually think I am gonna go ahead and go to the gym. Get a couple shots in. It's 12:45. I can get there early enough. Go get a couple shots in and come on home.
No doubt. Be out there like Brunson.
Yes, I'm gonna go get my get a couple shots up and whatnot. Any last things before we get out of here, Tony?
Nah, man. I see you Sunday. See Andy on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Still a couple tickets left, right?
Still a couple tickets left.
Maybe I'll see some of y'all on Sunday.
You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, Losers Lounge. I mean, Legends too. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you want tickets, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Sunday, March 10th, Knicks versus Philly. You can come join us on a live Losers Lounge. You know what I'm saying? The tickets are $2. They just been dropped. The price has just been dropped to $205. You know what I'm saying? So we would love to see you guys there. Section 224, section 227. We're doing a pregame podcast at Legends. We're doing the postgame. The pregame shoot around. Then we're going to obviously watch the game. And we're coming back to Legends for a postgame podcast and hopefully a Losers Lounge. You know what I'm saying? So, make sure you join us for Sunday's game. Knicks versus Sixers. $205 per ticket. All right. It's only a few tickets left. If you want to get them, you better make sure you get them now, ladies and gentlemen, because they will be gone. All right.
I'm gonna need a third hand to throw up the third L for the Losers Lounge live. For that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. All right. So it's right there, ladies and gentlemen. The link is in the chat. Go ahead and click on that link. Get your tickets now. We'll see you on Sunday. But we out of here, folks. Be peaceful. Knicks get that win over the Magic. Abracadabra.
None of us feel good about it. This is, where we are. You are what your record is. You are what has happened, recently. But things can change quickly. Once we losing is what got us here. None of us feel good about it.